Test it. Ready? May I have your attention, please? May we have your attention, please? A lot of you don't know, but in 2000, when Mayor Harry Lewis and we came on, and Tennessee Shell and Francis, and it's a lot of worked on this project, and it's a blessing. We prayed for this. We asked God to bless us with this for this whole parish. And I never dreamed that I would have a chance to do the opening prayer, to meet the governor. In 2000, we had a vision, and Mayor Lewis wanted to change this area, and not knowing that God would answer his prayer. This is a blessed day. So I want you to bow your head. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come now. We come like beggars, begging for your mercy and grace. We come asking you to forgive us of all of our sins and trespasses. Lord, we ask you right now, bless us. Thank you for what you're doing for us right now. Lord, we can't thank you enough. You hear and answer prayers. We ask you to bless this town, this community, bless all the nearby towns, and then, Lord, bless this governor. Hold him in the hollow of your hand. Let him lead you and guide. Let him lead his people in the right direction. Lord, I just want to say thank you this morning for all that you have done here in Richland Parish. We ask all this in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry.
Thank you, man. Wow. Gee whiz. This is incredible. I mean, it really is. And I first need to take a moment to thank some folks, because I'll get started and then I'll forget. But I think it's important that there are a couple of people that we recognize that were at the beginning of this. I first want to thank Speaker Philip de Villiers and the energy team who brought this concept to us, a newly inaugurated and newly governor and a newly appointed secretary of economic development, Susan Bourgeois, to us in, I guess, the beginning of February or late January of this year. I want to also extend my appreciation to Senate President Cameron Henry and the entire legislative delegation, the entire legislature as a whole, who quietly and smartly navigated this legislation that granted Kevin Jonta, the director of Meta's data team strategy, and his group and LED, the tools necessary to bring this vision to life. And then, of course, I want to thank everyone in Richland Parish for all of the work that they've done to make this dream a reality. You know, I would be remiss also without giving a great shout out, and I know that I believe she's going to speak. I know we've got our Congresswoman Julia Letlow here, but you know, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, certainly would have loved to have been here. I spoke to Congressman Steve Scalise, Senator John Kennedy, Senator Bill Cassidy as well. They all are extremely excited and have been updated on this project as it's been moving out to fruition throughout the year. You know, this part of Louisiana, like many other parts of Louisiana, has its roots in agriculture. And Richland Parish is no different. In fact, Richland Parish's namesake, which was given to it over 150 years ago, means exactly what it says: rich land. This is a place of fertile soil, of beautiful landscapes for farming, allowing agriculture to dominate this economy. It has helped to shape the towns of Rayville, Holly Ridge, and Delhi. The combination of a thriving agribusiness and small-town charm and the historical landmarks reflect accurately small-town rural Louisiana. And while agriculture should always remain a very important component of our state and our nation, Louisiana has lingered behind her southern neighbors in her ability to truly diversify her economy. And of course, as anyone who's worked on a farm or tended a garden knows, the fruits of the harvest just don't appear at the call of a farm genie. They all begin with a small seed. And while there are farmers that are lucky enough to begin on some of the most fertile soil, like here in Richland, with the best rainfall and the best climate, other farms are not so lucky. But they endure and they hold steadfast. They till their land and they care for it and they seed it and they pray for a bountiful harvest. And over 2 decades ago, a young lady named Tana Trishelle, who was the CEO and president of Northeast Louisiana Economic Authority, took a concept to the state and initiated an idea of having the state purchase a tract of land from the Franklin family. And at the time, she said, and I quote, "I prayed about it. My prayer was that God, that this is the only thing that can help our region change. And if we could just get one hit, people will be able to build new houses and have jobs for their children." Because you see, what Tana knew was that Richland's economy was in decline. It ranks 44th of the 64 parishes in GDP, and the average wage earner here earns 34% less than the average wage earner in the state of Louisiana. And almost 1 out of every 4 residents in this parish lives below the poverty line, where nationwide it's 1 out of 8. But you see, Tanner believed that Richland's next generation deserved a shot at the opportunities that are afforded to those in other parts of the state. And so she convinced the state of Louisiana to buy a seed, to invest in this tract of land. And so she and everyone else waited, and we watched. And unfortunately, we saw our surrounding states build a new industrial South here in America. And last year, when Sharon and I toured this state, we promised the people of this state that we would bring people back home. We would make Louisiana a safe state. We would place an emphasis on educational reform, and we would improve our economic environment through meaningful tax reform. And the people of this state and our legislature have responded. And today, it all changes. Today, Louisiana begins a new chapter as we get ready to welcome in a new year. Today, we are delivering on new jobs, economic growth on a scale that was unimaginable before this year. You know, on Monday afternoon, I had the pleasure of speaking directly to Meta founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who allowed me the exciting opportunity to announce this game-changing investment that will transform Louisiana's economy and position our state as the leader in the world of technology and innovation, where we now announce the Meta Artificial Intelligence Optimized Data Center. This is not just another facility. It is a $10 billion investment in Louisiana's future. This is not just a project, but truly a generational transformation of Louisiana's landscape. It represents the largest private investment in North Louisiana in the history of this state. It will create thousands of high-paying jobs, spur virtual infrastructure improvements, and place us at the forefront of AI and technological advancement. This Meta data center, it's so huge. It's so huge. It's 4 million square feet. I mean, you could play 70 high school football games at the same time, right? And we understand football in Louisiana, right? I mean, think about it. Putting all of those teams, that's 140 teams on the field at one time. This will be Meta's largest investment yet in its AI center portfolio, marking a major milestone for both the company and our state. And you know, I'll tell you, Kevin, as Mark and I were discussing this project, I could hear the excitement in his voice. You know, and he was telling me about the potential that he believes that this site has on the AI framework, not only for the nation, but for the world. But I got to tell y'all what my response to him was. It was humble. Because I told him, while I could appreciate how much he envisioned this changing the world, that he was changing the world the way I was taught, one step at a time. And that step starts right here in Richland Parish. He was allowing our citizens an opportunity that they have waited for, that we have waited for, that we have cultivated in our state, and that we have had, and it will have some of the most positive impacts on families, that need it more than ever. I'll tell you, when I was talking to Josh and Paul when this all started, and I'll tell you a little secret, and they'll tell you, they met with me at the mansion months after Philip and I had met, and they came see me, and things were kind of crazy, as you knew back then, and I was running around, and next thing I know, I'm in front of these two Meta guys, and I'm in my socks. And they're looking at me. And I mean, we just got to talking right away. I said, don't worry about the shoes. We don't like shoes in Louisiana anyhow. But I told them back then that there was a place, and it was in North Louisiana, and it was going to be a spot that they will make generational changes. And I got to tell you, I appreciate the commitment that y'all made. They got on the ball, and y'all have just done an unbelievable job. You know, this investment isn't just about building a facility. It's really about strengthening our communities and creating real opportunities for our people. You know, that building is big, but I'm going to tell you the part that I'm excited about the most is Meta's commitment to partnering with our local schools and organizations to help upskill our workforce. Because quite frankly, that's what families do. They are going to help us ensure that those that are here in this area are ready to take advantage of the 5,000 plus construction jobs, the more than 500 direct jobs, and the additional thousands of other indirect jobs that this project will continue to spin off. This will take place through a Meta-announced Data Center Community Action Grants program. And this initiative will help equip the next generation of Louisiana workers with the skills that they need to succeed in the tech industry. You see, this is generational. Investing in education shows Meta's commitment to sourcing labor and material locally, and again, sends a loud message that they are a new member of Louisiana's families. Meta is also investing $200 million in local infrastructure, including road and water system upgrades, ensuring that the surrounding areas benefit from these improvements for years to come. Make no mistake about it, Louisiana is poised to play in this field, and our state's ability to produce power from an all-of-the-above approach gives Meta the security of knowing that the power demand they need will be met responsibly. You know, we forget, Louisiana is home to nuclear, hydro, solar, as well as traditional forms of power. And we know how to produce it responsibly and affordably. I want to thank the Public Service Commission, Chairman Eric Scametta, for their work as well. The Public Service Commission now holds the key to ensuring that the power we need to provide these types of projects stays efficient and cost effective. So, today is a day to celebrate. It's a day to be thankful. And today is the day that God answered Tana's prayers, allowing her seed to sprout, giving our families an opportunity that has evaded us for generations. And you know, I promised the people of this state, and here in North Louisiana specifically, that we would not forget them. I remember that, Ralph? On that last couple of days, we said we would not forget North Louisiana. And I told him, I remember telling Ralph, I said, this area holds the greatest potential. And that we were going to work on jobs. And that we were going to work on economic growth for this region. And I know that many others have made promises around here as well. But today we're delivering on them. And I said that we would bring to Louisiana higher paying jobs and overall economic growth. And today and tomorrow, when we sign the new tax reforms, we're going to be delivering on that as well. And you should know that we will not rest. We will not stop, and we will continue to expect more. Because for those who have left Louisiana for a brighter future elsewhere, today we say it's time to come back home. God bless our Meta family. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Susan Bourgeois, the Secretary of LED, and I will serve as your MC for the rest of this amazing program today. And so next, I would like to introduce Kevin Janda, the Director for Meta of Data Center Strategy, to tell you more about this amazing project. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Landry, for that introduction. Thank you, Susan Bourgeois, for that introduction. It's an honor to have you here with us and to be here. I'd like to start by thanking everyone involved in breathing life into this project. Many of you who are in this room here today with us. Thank you, Secretary Bourgeois, Louisiana Economic Development, and everyone working hard to bring economic development to this area. Representative Letlow, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us. I'd also like to recognize the representatives from the offices of Speaker Johnson, Senator Cassidy, and Senator Kennedy. Thank you to our state legislators and the Richland Parish Police Jury for supporting Meta in this effort. To the Franklin family, thank you for trusting us to join this community. And thank you, Entergy, for playing such a key role in getting this project off the ground, and for your continued support. I also want to extend my thank you to the speakers for taking the time to join us today and share your thoughts. And finally, thank you, Richland Parish. Thank you for welcoming us with open arms. We are excited. You guys have been tremendous, and we are excited to announce that we will be building our newest and largest data center right here in Richland Parish. Louisiana and Richland Parish are the perfect home for Meta for a variety of reasons. Excellent access to infrastructure, a reliable grid, a business-friendly climate, but most importantly, a great set of community partners that have really helped push this project forward. You guys have been truly incredible to work with, and we thank you. So this Richland Parish Data Center is going to play a pivotal role in advancing Meta's overall AI efforts. This data center will be optimized for our AI workloads and be the largest data center in our fleet. The significance of our data center, however, is much more than what is just felt online. We want to make sure that we're having a positive impact at the local level in communities like Richland Parish, because our mission is to build the future of human connection and the technology that powers that. And for us, that starts here with this Richland Parish Data Center. As new members of the community, we're fully committed to playing a positive role in the long-term vitality of this region. Once completed, this 4 million square foot facility will represent an investment of over $10 billion. It'll also support over 500 operational jobs and over 5,000 construction jobs at peak. And we make a concerted effort to source labor locally, and we'll provide contributions directly to the community. As the governor said, we'll be investing over $200 million in infrastructure upgrades for both road and water infrastructure. Additionally, we'll be contributing $1 million a year to Entergy's customer assistance program that provides bill pay assistance. Provides bill pay assistance for low-income customers. Our commitment here extends to the residents, small businesses, nonprofits, and schools as well. Once this data center is live and operational, we'll be rolling out the Community Action Grants program, where we work with local organizations and schools to support projects that put the power of technology to use for community benefit and improve education in the areas of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We're also proud to bring programs that help local small businesses and nonprofits grow their online presence, like our no-cost digital skills training. Now, building with sustainability in mind is very important to us, and I'm proud to say that 100% of this data center's energy use will be matched with clean and renewable energy. We've been partnering with Entergy from the beginning to plan for our energy needs, and this includes bringing at least 1,500 megawatts of new renewables to the grid. Meta also prioritizes water stewardship and works to make sure that our data centers operate efficiently. We've got a global goal to be water positive in 2030, which means we will restore more water than we consume. And we're also proud to say that we anticipate that this data center will use less water than the site has historically. Now, we couldn't be more excited to be here in Louisiana and call Richland Parish our home. We look forward to a strong, mutually beneficial partnership for years to come. Now, it's my great pleasure to welcome Congresswoman Julia Letlow on stage.
Wow, what a day for Louisiana. What a day for Northeast Louisiana, and what a day for Richland Parish. Woo! I am so honored to be here with all of you today. I was so excited about it. I even skipped votes in Washington. Don't tell anybody, please. But truly, what an incredible, incredible experience. To Kevin, to Meta, thank you for believing in us. I think you'll find I moved here to Richland Parish 10 years ago, and from the first moment that I stepped foot on this soil, everyone has been so kind and warm and welcoming, and I know that we will offer the same to you. You'll find the best people in Louisiana, in Richland Parish, but thank you for taking a chance on us. We are so excited to have you. Thank you. To Governor Landry, thank you for your vision. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for fulfilling your promise to not forget about North Louisiana, and promises made, promises kept, and putting together the most amazing team to lead the effort. Susan, thank you for all that you've done for North Louisiana. We are so fortunate to have the leadership that we have here in Louisiana, and I have to say, a special thank you to all of those who came before me, to Congressman Ralph Abraham. This is what dreams were made of. This is what we dreamed about for so many years. Thank you for all the work and the effort that you put in to making this dream a reality. You know, my late husband always said, and I believe it to be true, that in Louisiana, we live in the land of opportunity, just like the governor spoke about. We have the mighty Mississippi River right next door. We have ports and waterways. We have in Richland Parish rich, fertile farmland that we are so proud about. But we also have amazing educational institutions that are going to provide the workforce that this area and this project desperately needs. And the leadership that Louisiana now has, you combine all of that together, and that opportunity is turning into a reality right here, right now in Richland Parish. And I'm so excited about it. I promise I'll be brief because we have more speakers to get to, so I want to end with this. To Scott Franklin, many, many years from now, when we're probably not around, our sons are going to look back on this day and they're going to be so proud. And they're going to remember this as the day that Louisiana was transformed, and they're going to be so proud of the leadership that you created and the impact that you made on Louisiana. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
I'm glad I'm not speaking next because I never want to follow Julia. She's amazing. So, that's wonderful. That is the next generation. Thank you so much. So sweet. Thank you. Senator Cassidy wanted to join us today, and as Congresswoman Letlow said, everyone is unfortunately in Washington with votes, but Senator Cassidy sent a short video that he wants us to watch.
United States Senator Bill Cassidy here, wishing I could be there in person to celebrate this incredible investment in Richland Parish. Meta's new data center, it would not have been possible without the leadership of Governor Landry and LED. Louisiana is the best place to make this happen. We have the resources to build, the workforce to build. We have everything we need to power this $5 billion artificial intelligence data center. But this doesn't happen by accident. It happens because years ago, the Franklin family offered land. It happens because economic development officials had a vision of what could happen. And then when the moment came, the pieces were in place. We need more of this type of development in our state. We want more of these kinds of announcements, and we've got to do what those far-sighted people did years ago. I want our kids to grow up as Warhawks, Bulldogs, Tigers, and not a Texas Aggie. So how do we keep our kids here? Well, this investment goes hand in hand with the strides we've made in increasing broadband access to every part of our state. Louisiana is the first state in the nation to reward BEAD funding through our Gumbo 2.0 program. This is a $1.35 billion investment I helped secure in the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Investments like broadband and this data center make Louisiana a more attractive place to start a business and to raise a family. So today is a day to celebrate for many reasons. I look forward to more jobs, more economic opportunity coming to our great state.
So one of the things I have said in my brief 10 months in this role oftentimes is that real successful economic development really is a whole of government approach. Well, I'm changing that today because the reality is it's a whole of Louisiana approach. And there's no better example of that than the partner and the leader that Entergy has been to make this a reality. And so Philip, please come say a few words about what y'all have done to make this possible.
Good afternoon. I am so glad this day is finally here. It has been so exciting to get here and so exciting about where this is coming, the impact. But I'll start out with I'm Philip May, President and CEO of Entergy Louisiana. But what's more important is I'm a lifelong resident of Louisiana, this great state. It's truly a historic day for Richland Parish, Northeast Louisiana, and all of Louisiana. It's a day when vision, partnership, and hard work come together to create something extraordinary. A moment that will shape the future of our region and our state for generations to come. As we gather near the site of what will become the largest, most advanced data center and supercomputer in human history, I think back on some of our visionaries that are basis of the foundation of this state. And I'm reminded of Harvey Couch, Entergy's founder. 100 years ago, just down the road from here in Sterlington, he built the largest, most advanced power plant in the South at the time. You see, Harvey Couch didn't think it was just about power. It was about empowering communities. Today, we carry forward his vision. Well, most of you understand the project's scope and what we aim to deliver. I'd like to take a broader look at what this means for our community. First, I do want to acknowledge Meta for selecting the site and choosing Louisiana. Your vision for this project, your confidence in our state, benefits not just the region, but Louisiana as a whole. By making this decision, it sends a clear message to the entire world. Louisiana is open for business. You know, for too long, industry may have overlooked this part of the state. But today, because of this announcement, Louisiana will be viewed differently. Louisiana will be viewed as an unparalleled technology hub. Picture that. This investment represents more than a construction of a facility. It represents hope, opportunity, and progress. As you know, it will bring 500 operational jobs, create thousands of construction jobs, and generate economic benefits for this entire region. For Northeast Louisiana, a region that has had its share of challenges, this project represents the turning point. Entergy Louisiana is proud to partner to be able to power this transformational facility. Our commitment goes beyond infrastructure. It's about creating a platform for long-term growth and sustainability. And just as this project is bold, it is sustainable. From hydrogen co-firing to carbon capture technology, we are advancing clean energy solutions that align with Louisiana's energy future. Now, we know this is more than a groundbreaking. It's a new beginning. Together, we're not just building a facility, we're building a brighter future for our families, our businesses, and our state. One of the things that really brought this home is over the Thanksgiving break, a personal friend, this is a personal story, true story. Years ago, a personal friend, their daughter and son-in-law moved out of the state because they just didn't see that there was an opportunity or a future for them. They assumed that we didn't have the resources, the infrastructure, or the vision to see something like this through. After word got out, as you know, some of this got leaked, so word got out that what was on the way to Louisiana, I got a call from those folks, and they said, I'd like to visit with you over the break. I think it's time to come home to Louisiana. That's what this project does, and that's what it will say to the world. Before I close, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the incredible energy team who moved mountains to bring this to fruition. From our engineers and project managers, customer service leaders, and line workers, this could not have happened without your absolute dedication and hard work. When other states said, no, that's impossible, we said yes. And particularly, I want to point out to the Meta team, we have dealt with developers from around the world. You all are peerless, so it's been an absolute pleasure to partner with you. Finally, thank you to Foster Campbell, who's not able to be here today. I want to also thank Representative Chris Turner, who helped carry the bill that helped to make this happen, Senator President Henry, Speaker DeVilliers, and especially the Governor and Susan Bourgeois. This is just the beginning of an exciting future we have for this region and our entire state. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Philip. You know, the district where this project is going to be is represented by State Senator Katrina Jackson and State Representative Francis Thompson, and I would like them both to come up and say a few words for us, please.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the governor. I remember when he ran and he won. And in my first meeting with him, his beautiful wife was there. And he promised to not forget about Northeast Louisiana. And Governor, you've made good on your promise and so many others in just under a year. So thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for remembering us. To Meta, for choosing Richland Parish, for choosing us to become your partner in building the future of human connection and the technology to provide for it. We are forever grateful that you today, we're already on a map because we're already rich in soil and human nature and how we treat each other. But you've made us rich in technology overnight, and for that, we're forever grateful. When Madam Secretary Bourgeois came to her first committee meeting to present her first bill, to talk about how she was going to make a change in the state of Louisiana, I sat up, and her heart spoke through her mouth. And I said, give it to her. Let's pass this bill. Let's see what happens. And thank you, Madam Secretary. I always knew since law school the governor was smart enough to keep good women by his side, right? But to the people, before I do this, because of course you're the most important, the people who kept this soil fertile, to my legislative delegation, to my Senate President, Speaker of the House, please stand. People need to know that this was one legislature who pushed this through. They are a shining example of what can happen in a little parish called Richland when legislators push party aside and move for the people. And to the people of the great parish of Richland, and to the people of Northeast Louisiana in District 34, we moved the last piece of this. But for years, the Franklin Farm family and others have moved every day to ensure the vitality of Richland Parish. You've tilled the soil, not only with your crops, but with everything you owned and had to offer. And for that, I am forever grateful. As your senator, I would be remiss to stand and take the credit for the work of all of us. What we are now seeing, as Congressman Letlow said, is that a promise made is a promise kept, because we all held to the promise that better days were coming. And today, across the state of Louisiana, they're seeing how Richland Parish, how the governor, how the congressional delegation, how the legislative delegation, and the people of this parish stand and work together for the betterment of all. Thank you so much.
If we keep going, we'll cover every issue more than once. But, Governor, I have to double it. I have to compliment you being only about 15 miles from where we are today, where I live, and to all of you as my new friends. I was thinking about, I'm probably put together the best speech I ever had. And I've been around a while, but I said, they can't get that. And Katrina just cut it down to what it ought to be. But I want everybody in here to know, and a lot of TV cameras, maybe you can use it somewhere. But we've had a lot of good governors. I never served with a governor that was not good. But I had a lot of governors that never got around to what the meat was. They got the bones. This is an opportunity to get the meat. And you have always, since in your short time here, been a leader. And you stand up for what you believe in. And that makes a big difference in the state of Louisiana. And I say to everybody in here, find out what he does, because I want to know if he's got taken Geritol. I'm going to need some of it. But we also, as Katrina said, they told me that they'd give me 10 minutes since I'm here and this is my home and you're going to need me. I'm going to say that I'll take maybe an hour. And then we'll eat and talk about what we missed. Thank you for shaking your head. But we got our speaker here and our president, both good friends of mine. I call on them quite frequently. And not too long ago, my speaker came all the way from South Louisiana to see the World Heritage Site. And if you could see him tumbling down that big Indian mound, you'd say he needs more athletic training. But we had a very good time. A couple of things I will mention is that the membership in here, as I looked around, and I stayed up late last night to make sure that I'd have know who was here. If I could look out there, there's Emo Bubba's here today, Bubba Cheney, and I want everyone to know that our delegation, all of them, not just North Louisiana, the whole state, we have people here representing everything, every part of our state. They have worked. I see our person who handles all the money in Baton Rouge in our committee, appropriations committee. He's here today. People realize the importance of this, and there's been some very good sayings to let us know that people appreciate this area. It is a great area. Richland Parish deserves this, has deserved it for many years. Plants, when we were on the highway, I-20, and also the rail system. We're going to have to develop that, and this will be a part of all that. But as I finish, I wanted to say, I bet I did something that nobody did in here today as it deals with the new industry. Do you know what the stock market says about you today? You're growing very well, and Meta is going to be a good stock to invest in. So, thank you so much.
Keeping Francis brief is the hardest job I will have in any of this, as you all see. And so, we've spent a lot of time obviously acknowledging the governor and the legislative leaders and everyone who has done this, but I have to tell you, none of this happens without the leadership of Richland Parish. None of it. And so we have two gentlemen here. We'll do one at a time, but the Richland Parish School Board Superintendent, Sheldon Jones, please come say a few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of our 9 school board members, 400 employees, 2,650 students, and our entire greater school community, I'd like to extend a heartfelt welcome from the Holly Ridge community and Richland Parish to our new business partner, Meta. High expectations for standards-based teaching and learning drive classroom instruction daily in each of our 12 traditional public schools. Our district performance score, recently released by the Louisiana Department of Education, reflects an increase that exceeds all scores previously received under the current accountability system prior to the pandemic. The performance of our schools will directly correlate with our ability to supply a skilled workforce for our new business partner, Meta. I, along with central office supervisory staff and high school principals, have partnered with Workforce Development Board 83 in a series of roundtable discussions targeting support for internships and apprenticeships with local businesses. Curriculum development and job fairs aligned to specific expectations of entry-level workforce have driven our discussions thus far. We are targeting career development for our junior high school students through our JAG, Job for American Graduates programs. We are excited to include representatives from Meta in these ongoing collaborations. We embrace a joint commitment to sharing resources in an effort to ensure that this partnership is mutually beneficial for all parties involved. We are all familiar with the adage, it takes a village to raise a child. To our new business partner, Meta, welcome to our village. We are committed to supporting and assisting your new venture. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Sheldon. And Richland Parish Police Juror Elliot Colvin, please, on behalf of the police jury.
I'm kind of old school, so got my sheet of paper. Last night, I was asked to write the speech and give a speech here on behalf of the police jury, and so I got my speech and I wrote it, went in my 12-year-old daughter's room and read it to her. She said, "That was good, Daddy." She kind of, said I did a good job. She said, "If you got AI, it wrote it for you." Didn't know that, so I got my sheet of paper here. So before I start, I was going to say something real quick. Yesterday, I come up here, talked to Chelsea about kind of how much time I had. She said about 2 minutes, and she said, because we're going to be on a pretty tight schedule because we had a couple extra speakers added, and I said, Representative Thompson, is he speaking tomorrow? And she said, yeah, he is. And I said, okay. I said, well, I can promise you two things. He's probably not going to stay on script, and he ain't talking for 2 minutes. So I can't pick on him too bad, though, because he was my favorite teacher in college. He taught political science, and he taught me two things. Politicians are good, and he can get a college student out of a speed ticket. So, well, my name is Elliot Colvin. I'm a third-generation rice and row crop farmer and lifelong resident here in Richland Parish. I'm a District 8 Police Jury member and chairman of the local Economic Development Committee. Welcome to our great parish. I'd like to introduce our juror members and some of our team here in the parish. So when I say your name, if you would, I know most of y'all on the back row, just raise your hand. From District 1, Mr. Doug Craig. From District 2, Mr. Billy Powell. From District 3, Ms. Barbara Carroll. From District 4, Mr. Steve Adcock. And just so y'all know, the entirety of this project is in Mr. Steve Adcock's district. So if any problems or complaints, just see him. He'll be the new chairman of the complaint committee. District 5, Mr. Jesse Lively Jr. District 6, Mr. Johnny Jones. District 7, and our president, Mr. Cecil Reddick. And the District 9, Mr. Roy Wiggins Jr. Our secretary is Ms. Laura Mulhern, and our superintendent is Mr. Joey Evans. And if I know the Meta guys will appreciate this, that's the guy that gets things done around here if you need to know. Also, I'd like to recognize our legal counsel and ADA, Mr. Kyle Moore. He has worked tirelessly on this project. I'm talking about hours and hours, and I really want to say a big thank you for him as well. This team of hardworking individuals represent the character of our parish. Richland Parish has many great resources, of which our best is our people. I would like to share a quick example of this. In the fall of 1994, after I'd started college, my father had an accident on the farm and left him in the hospital for many months. We had harvested our corn crop, but not started our cotton crop harvest yet. Our community of farmers came together and harvested my family's crop when they should have been harvesting their own. This is the community of people that live here in Richland Parish. And this is the community that Meta will become a part of. We're excited and looking forward to the future and what it will hold for Richland Parish, and look forward to working alongside Meta and for the opportunities that are to come, because when you grow, we grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have one more speaker, and then I'm going to wrap us up very quickly after that. We have some folks live streaming with this, which is wonderful, but truly none of this happens without the Franklin family, their vision, what they agreed to do 20 years ago by letting the state acquire some of their land. You know, a good farmer never sells land. And so the fact that the Franklin family allowed the state to have this opportunity is really remarkable, and it's a tremendous reason that we are here today. And I'd like to introduce Scott Franklin to say a few words.
Thank you, thank you. I've given a lot of speeches in this building before. For a football analogy, this is my home field, Governor Landry. And I always open these speeches with the statement, it's a fine day to be in Richland Parish. And I think that rings truer today than any other time I've said it. What do you think? My grandfather is really who started this whole 20-year process. He's not with us anymore, but he had a personal conviction that we were not providing enough opportunity for our young people to stay at home. And it's become the number one threat to the state, outward migration. We're not keeping our people here. And so a lady that, Governor, you've mentioned that's so important to all of this, Tana Treshelle, was able to take my grandfather's conviction and put it into a vision to make this happen. Tana, there's a million things I could say, but I'm just telling you, this happened because of you, and everybody needs to give Tana a big hand. Now, 9 years ago, the Richland Chamber was founded with a message of hope and opportunity and a patented motto, "We believe." But the ultimate mission of the Chamber was to land a world-changing business to Richland Parish. On behalf of all of my Chamber directors, today, finally, we can say that we won. I have so many people to thank, and Susan's definitely telling me, come on, wrap it up. But there are people that have to be thanked. Francis Thompson, you know, there was a period in where our region was, in my opinion, not respected. And you fought forever to keep NALEA, the economic development region, alive. And, you know, NALEA would have never survived without Francis. I sure appreciate it for all the decades of work. The parish government just went above and beyond to accommodate our friends at Meta. I want to thank each and every one of them, but I don't have time. But listen, Richland Parish stepped up to the plate and hit the biggest home run in the history of this place. Thank you, police jury, the sheriff, Joey Evans, the superintendent, Kyle Moore, the civil DA, just fantastic job. Energy, Philip May, I mean, you're the man. And you changed my home forever. And I appreciate all the good work that you did. Thank you so much. Governor Landry, you know, I know you've only been governor for not quite a year, about a year. I thank you for being here, by the way, but I have to tell you, the best thing that you ever did was hired Susan Bourgeois. I have seen LED work for 20 years, and I'm telling you, there's a new sheriff in town. She did an excellent job. I want to thank my dad. My dad, you know, he worked on this ever since it started 20 years ago, and you know, unlike me having the ticker tape parade and preaching to everybody, you know, my dad just put his head down and did the work. And there was no ticker tape parade for him. So, hey, big day, congratulations. Obviously, I got to thank Meta. I mean, they're going to be our neighbors. But I have dealt with economic development for quite a while, and I've never encountered a partner that is the quality of character people like you have at your organization. I thank you so much. Paul Clements, Josh Bohawk, Joel Wood, that they were excellent partners to work with. And I welcome you here to my home, Richland Parish. And finally, there's one last person I do have to thank. He's been gone for a very long time, but it's my great-grandfather, who was an orphan that fled Alabama, fleeing poverty and desertion, and he hopped on a train. He got very sick, and he hopped off that train at Holly Ridge, Louisiana. And the rest, as they say, is history. But without him, none of this would have been possible. And the reason he became a success was because of the fine people of this community that nurtured him to be a success. And I'm here today, 4 generations later, to tell my friends at Meta, our community is going to nurture your success, and you will be a wonderful neighbor, and we're here to help you. God bless this rich land that we call home.
So now I get to take as long as I want, right? No, thank you, Scott. That was incredibly kind of you. But I have to say, and this is where I have to give all credit to Governor Landry for assembling a team much larger than me and our LED team, under the agreement from all of us that, first of all, we were all in this together. Second of all, it was all for Louisiana to win, right? And so to look at the cabinet secretaries who are here with me, the Commissioner of Administration, our Secretary of Louisiana Workforce Commission, our Secretary of Transportation and Development, I want you to know the way this project happened was because, first of all, Governor Landry told us to, and because, second of all, I would text a member of the cabinet when DOTD needed something done, and it would happen, or when we needed something done, and it just, the seamless ability for us as a cabinet and an administration, and then you factor in the work of the legislature and the way y'all did this all together and the way you worked, as Senator Jackson said, across party lines, across regions, across North Louisiana, South Louisiana. None of that mattered. This was a project that was transformational for this state, and everyone treated it that way. And so there are still a lot of people to thank, but there's one. None of y'all know this because before today, other than a little news article, nobody knew this was coming, right? But our LCTCS system, the Louisiana, help me, I just know the seat, right? The College and Technical System, right, has been working on a curriculum for this for months. They're already ready to establish a curriculum at Delta to be able to train people to do this project. Your state government, again, the whole of government approach, this is a whole of Louisiana approach. To our partners at KNOE, the organization who has helped us so much to put these pieces together, and our whole team at LED, it's truly been amazing. But I just want to wrap us up with this, and because this is what I do want the rest of the world to hear. There was a great line in the Wall Street Journal. It was really about 2 or 3 weeks after I assumed this position, and I remembered it, and I wanted to include it today. It says, "Capital flows where it is treated the best." And today is an example of how Louisiana treats capital. You're all welcome. Welcome, Meta. We could not be happier about this day, and I'm so grateful to everyone who's here. Thank you very much.